The 357 Magnum is definitely in the top 3 when it comes to all-time best revolver cartridges. After all, it delivers impressive power and versatility. In fact, ballistic tests tell that it's well capable of achieving high velocities, of up to 1,500 FPS or so. It's commonly used for self-defense and hunting, but nobody said that you can't use it for target shooting. Again, this one is a flexible and powerful cartridge for a revolver. But how much do you really know about the 357 Magnum? What's up, everyone? This is Scott from Line 45, and today we will be featuring the 357 Magnum and all the things that you probably don't know about it. Before anything else, let me do this quick plug. Hit the like and subscribe button. You can see all those buttons below this video. I know it feels like a hassle, but those simple clicks mean a lot for my channel. Now, let's get back to the good stuff. Origins. Yeah, it's Smith & Wesson. The 357 Magnum is not actually that old. It was developed sometime in the 1930s by Smith & Wesson. Yes, Smith & Wesson had a hand in the creation of the 357 Magnum. Specifically, it's the guys named Philip Sharp, Douglas Wesson, and Elmer Keith who made this cartridge for one specific reason, and that's law enforcement. So you see, during the Prohibition era, law enforcement here in the United States experienced a tough time dealing with violent criminals. It's not just because those thugs were good. The problem was due to the fact that these criminals were using heavy vehicles and primitive body armor that could easily defend the then-standard .38 special rounds. Of course, this issue required some tinkering. They immediately realized that, hey, the .38 special is no longer adequate. In particular, they needed something that first had superior velocity and second, had a more reliable penetration. They still used the .38 special as the basis of the new cartridge. What they did was lengthen the case and increase the powder charge. This practically gave birth to the 357 Magnum. It basically solved most of the problems of American law enforcement. It has proven itself as a powerful revolver cartridge that can pierce through car doors, body armor, and light metal barriers. It simply took care of much of the problems of police officers and federal agents at that time, and even today, it's still relevant. The myth about its recoil. I sometimes overhear people saying that a 357 Magnum is not a good beginner or practice round because of its recoil. Well, if it's in the past, then that statement is something that I can't dispute. But today, the 357 Magnum is already a myth. The reason is quite simple. Guns today are no longer the same as what they used to be in the past. The advancements in firearms design and ergonomics have already addressed the issue of the harsh kick of 357 Magnum rounds. Back in the day, revolvers were made from lightweight frames and only offered limited options for their grips. These are the reasons why it's too punishing to use them when shooting Magnum loads. Today, that's no longer the case, and I really encourage you to try shooting one if you haven't tried it yet. Modern revolvers chambered in 357 Magnum have textured and rubberized grips and other ergonomic features that could help divert or tame the impact of shooting powerful cartridges. Plus, there are a significant number of revolvers today that have porting on their barrel, which allows the gases to vent upward, which in turn reduces the muzzle rise. This design produces a substantial decrease in the felt recoil. I'm not saying that the recoil is entirely gone. All I'm trying to say is that modern 357 Magnum handguns are much more efficient in handling recoil, especially if you include factors like proper technique and practice. It takes two to tango. The thing about overpenetration. Okay, this one is about to get dicey. But hear me out. The 357 Magnum is all good and effective, but it still runs on caution. After all, it's quite susceptible to overpenetration. Of course, this is not something that should make you wonder. As I've already mentioned earlier, the 357 Magnum has powerful ballistics and velocities that go beyond the standard cartridges. The muzzle velocity of a 357 Magnum could range between the 1,200 to 1,500 feet per second depending on the load, and these numbers tell that the cartridge can inflict explosive energy on its target. Needless to say, this isn't an issue in ideal circumstances. You hit on your attacker and they're definitely going to fall like timber. But boy, it's a bit tough if there are civilians or unintended targets nearby. The same energy that can wreck your attackers can also endanger those around you, potentially endangering them in the process. Let me give you an example. In a typical home defense situation, a 357 Magnum bullet is really capable of passing through multiple interior walls or even exiting a building. This can pose a serious hazard to anyone, be it your neighbors or some random passerby. Of course, your family is at risk, too. This can be a huge concern in urban or suburban environments where homes are close together. In particular, certain types of .357 Magnum ammunition, such as full metal jackets or hard-cast bullets, are particularly prone to overpenetration due to their construction, which prioritizes maintaining shape and energy transfer over expansion. So, it is me telling you that you shouldn't use a .357 Magnum round. No, not at all. That would be stupid advice if I ever gave that to you. There are ways to mitigate this risk. One of them is, of course, the use of hollow point ammo that is designed to expand upon impact. This expansion increases the bullet's diameter, reducing the likelihood of exiting the target and transferring more energy into it. But you still need to be careful in selecting the ammo so that you can guarantee that it won't really cause a mess and put you in a tough legal battle. Another thing that I want to mention is that you need to be wary of the environment where you are going to use a .357 Magnum revolver. In wide open spaces, this isn't an issue, so it's really a reliable choice for rural or wilderness use, where stopping power against predators or medium-sized game is a topmost priority. However, in confined space, say, your home or apartment, the power of .357 Magnum bullets really demands careful consideration of backstops, target angles, and ammunition type to minimize risks. Exceptional versatility. A lot of people think that the .357 Magnum is just for home defense. That ain't true at all. The thing is, the .357 Magnum is arguably one of the most adaptable handgun cartridges that exist right now. I can easily fire an extensive range of bullet weights. I am talking about a range between 110 grains and 200 grains, which is actually insane, as it is an obvious sign that it can be used for different applications. For example, lighter bullets or those around 110 to 125 grains are suitable for self-defense because of the velocity they can achieve, many of which can achieve up to 1,400 feet per second, which in turn allows for rapid energy transfer and effective stopping power. They are actually a good choice for close-quarter or urban combat where overpenetration is an actual concern. Meanwhile, heavier bullets, or those ranging from 158 to 200 grains, offer deep penetration and are ideal for hunting or outdoor scenarios. The heavier weight excels in maintaining momentum, which is a requirement if you want to take down medium-sized games like wild boar. When push comes to shove, it's also a reliable defense against predators like black bears or cougars. This range of load capabilities allows shooters to tailor their ammunition to specific needs, whether for precision target shooting, self-defense, or hunting. Additionally, the .357 Magnum can chamber and safely fire .38 special cartridges, which are less powerful and produce significantly less recoil and noise. This compatibility further enhances its versatility, as shooters can use the .38 special for practice sessions or when introducing new shooters to the platform, then switch to full-power .357 Magnum loads when necessary. And hey, I really did mention that this is a revolver cartridge, but it's technically restricted to that. You see, a .357 Magnum is also being used in lever-action rifles, which actually makes sense. After all, with a longer barrel, the velocity and accuracy of a .357 Magnum is maximized. The reasons why it's good. For a handgun cartridge, the ballistics of the .357 Magnum is quite remarkable. As I've said, its muzzle velocities can go as fast as 1,500 feet per second, while its energy can hit 500 foot-pounds, depending on the load you use. This performance can even rival some rifles at close distances. Basically, there aren't many handgun cartridges right now that can rival its capabilities, and even some. The power of the .357 Magnum is the very reason why it's downright effective in stopping threats, hunting medium game, and even defense against predators in the wild. The quality of its ballistics can be attributed to its case design, as it enables a higher powder capacity that is relative to its size. What I am trying to say is that the .357 Magnum is capable of pushing bullets faster and with more energy than other handgun rounds can do. Even a .45 ACP can't hold a candle to the .357 Magnum. Again, if you are going to use it in a lever-action rifle, the longer barrel would further make .357 Magnum bullets shine. The flat trajectory of the .357 Magnum is another thing that you should not forget. The combination of high velocity and optimized bullets allows it to maintain accuracy over longer distances than many other handgun rounds. While typical handgun engagements occur at short ranges, this flat trajectory gives the .357 Magnum an advantage in scenarios requiring precision at distances up to 100 yards. But yeah, for that distance, you would really need a carbine or a rifle. That's it for now. Thanks for watching. If you liked this video, please hit the subscribe button and notification bell. Just press all the buttons. Those little clicks are free, but they help the channel a lot. Stay sharp, stay safe, and remember, it's not just about the shot, it's about mastering the craft. Until next time, lock and load.